The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 27th day of May 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. Happy post-holiday. How's everyone feeling? I missed you all. I missed you all. How was everyone's weekend? Did everyone... Was anyone or everyone able to like rest and recuperate or like enjoy the festivities, enjoy family, enjoy friends, get away from work, time off? Like how did it go? I'm gonna tell you, I missed you guys. I missed you all. Yeah. I don't ever want all that time off from work. I mean, at least until the next time. But yeah. Saw the parade. I watched a bit of the parade. I saw the runners come in. It was quite the holiday. I've been doing laundry since like Thursday after the show. Yeah, so it's been interesting. It's been an interesting long holiday weekend, but hopefully everyone had a great holiday weekend. Canton Trot says, "Good morning, TDH family." Good morning to you as well, Kenton. He also says the holiday was awesome. Family, friends, food, and fun. Suzanne Ingham says, super awesome Tuesday, Jamal. I missed you. I rested and rested well. Saw the runners. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. You all had a good one. All right. Well, we are back to business today. So greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Dr. Jonathan Makanjoula on from the Daily Mail. We're going to be discussing prostate cancer awareness. The Daily Play is a remember when today. So going back, not too far back, but we're going back a bit. Not far at all. So I think everyone should kind of get close to the answer today. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, I'm excited. We are back after the long holiday weekend, but we have to reflect on the holiday weekend. And we're going to ask you this morning. Here's your question of the morning. And before we get into it, I want to say, I'm going to say it right before I bring Maya in for the news, but I want to address a specific group this morning, not to be controversial, but to be direct. So I'm going to share that at the end of the discussion because I want us to have a bit of fun this morning. All right. And I hope that the Minister of, he's got so many titles, tourism, transport, culture, and sport. And I think I said it correctly. Owen Darrell, I hope he's tuned in. I hope that people from the Department of Culture are tuned in. I hope people from DCI, Department of Communications and Information, will receive the messages this morning. I hope that the larger community who had so much to say about Bermuda Day are tuned in. Here's your question of the morning. What would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities? What would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities? And what do you enjoy? What did you enjoy most about Bermuda Day this year? Like, what did you enjoy most about it? We're going to go to Instagram because we did ask this question on our Instagram page, and we got quite a few responses. So I'm going to go through some of the responses that we received on Instagram. So what would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities? Someone said, tighten up the parade, tighten up the parade. A lot of people were saying that there were too many gaps. It was too long. Another person says, I don't know, but something needs to be done about saving spaces. Something needs to be done about saving spaces. Another one said, spread out the gumbays. Spread out the gum. Tell me if I'm wrong, audience, but didn't the gumbays used to come last in the parade? Another one said, space between the groups need to be smaller. Space between the groups needs to be smaller. Someone else said, make the parade more orderly. Make the parade more orderly. Another person said nothing. It was a vibe. Okay. Another says, ensure that it ends before sunset. Yeah, that was a long parade, man. Another person said, all parties involved need to, well, I can say this word, I think. I'm just repeating it. All parties involved need to freaking communicate, and only one individual per street should be. I don't know what that means. Another, says directing. Oh, one individual per street should be directing. Also, I think the parade needs a practice day because also some groups tear the behind out of it with their stops and timings. Hence why the dancers are tired when they actually should be performing. All right, so that's what we got from Instagram. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities? And we're not just talking about the parade, talking about everything. What would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities? And what did you enjoy most about Bermuda Day? Like, what did you enjoy? Did you even go to the parade, or did you watch it? Like, what did you enjoy about it? Kenton Trott, he says, I wouldn't change a thing. He says he would not change a thing. I like that he said that, because I swear everyone had something to say that wasn't positive, which is their prerogative. I know what I would change. And I say this respectfully. I don't want to come across, but I think that remember when we started the Daily Hour? When we started the Daily Hour over 5 years ago, and a colleague from another medium reached out and said, man, I wish we all were producing the sort of quality that you are. And I said, you think this is quality? And I wasn't playing it down, but I just knew we could do so much better. And if you go back and look at how we started to now, I think you'd understand what I meant. The point is, I'm not based in Bermuda, so I had to watch it online. And I just think that, I guess my question was, why are we so okay with mediocrity? Like, why? I just thought the coverage was mediocre. And I know people say, well, so much work goes into it. I understand that. But just because so much goes into it doesn't mean that we should be settling for mediocrity, right? So that's what I would change. I would actually invest in training those who are responsible for the coverage if they're to continue it, unless, I mean, we're okay with the standards that we're setting as a community. But that's me. What would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities? And what did you enjoy most about Bermuda Day? I'll tell you something I enjoyed most about Bermuda Day. Seeing Sean Trott win. That was a fantastic run by Sean Trott. I mean, having Jay Donowa on the day before, who, had a reputation for being the bridesmaid, for coming second so many times and then finally winning it in 2017. I felt for, like, Ryan Otterbridge after last year was probably the favorite. And if Sean didn't, I think he even said it, with possibly Ryan and Lamont coming back stronger next year, and, Dage Miners probably participating, he felt this was his best time to win it, and he went and won it. So that was something I really enjoyed seeing on Bermuda Day. But what else, audience? What would you do to improve Bermuda Day festivities, and what did you enjoy most about Bermuda Day? We've got Suzanne Ingham says, yes, gum bays used to be last. Have more gum bays in between and at the end of, I don't know what she meant to say there. Kenton Trot says, I've been in the parade and a part of the team managing the parade for years. The gaps are inevitable due to the various types of participants. Fair enough. Fair enough. I just wonder if other parades are studied, and if they are, what parades is Bermuda Day following, right? Like what's standard, or where's the bar as far as, okay, this is how we improve it? Because look, no matter how you do things, right, there's always room to improve. No matter how good you are, there's always room to improve. So even if we think that Bermuda Day was perfect, it was great, like Sean Trott, he won it, but I'm sure there are things that in the half marathon he'd say, you know what, I could have done this better to make sure I won. You feel me? So I think there's things that can always be done better. It's about finding those gaps and holes where we can improve. Marquita Lee says, spot saving. Stop it. It would be first come. Sorry, it should be first come, first serve. That's going to be pretty difficult unless there's laws put in place, right? And if they were to put laws in place, there'll be some pretty angry Bermudians, Marquita. There'll be some pretty angry Bermudians. I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, that's a tough one. I know it's annoying, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Hadleen Swan says, I thoroughly enjoyed marching with PHC. Big up yourself, Hadleen. I had a blast. I missed many steps, but I loved marching and smiling. Awesome. Big up to Hadleen. Folks, give Hadleen some love. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to everyone. I really enjoyed seeing so many people participating. Big up Work United. Big up the Filipino Association. The Gumbays always doing their thing. Obviously, PHC majorettes who we're talking about now. It was nice to see. You know what I really appreciated too? I don't know if that's the first time I've noticed, but seeing Suzette Harvey out there with UDP, I loved that. I loved that. I loved seeing Suzette Harvey out there getting her dance on with them. So many dance troops, rated, was it rated E? You've got, what's the other one? Bermuda Squad. They came. Hot Peppers. You did a thing. Hot Peppers did a thing. They had cousin Kaylin Castle out there with them. They did a thing, and I really appreciated their uniforms as well. I think what impressed me most about Bermuda Day, what I really enjoyed seeing, was Bermudian creativity on display. There was an engagement as well, right? Engagement, man. Ladies, if a man in the middle of a half marathon, actually 5K, if someone's running and they decide to propose, hold on to that, brother. Don't let him go. Because, boy, I don't know what mile that was, but he was in town. So the brother had to have completed at least 12 miles. And he still had the energy to propose. I know you all are saying, Jamal, it don't take much energy to get on one knee. You try running 10 miles and see what I'm talking about. So big up to them for the engagement. And yeah, I wish them all the best. But that was a beautiful thing on Bermuda Day, right? That's something I loved. But what else would you do? Like, audience, I mean, so many people had a lot to say on social media. What else would you do? How would you improve Bermuda Day festivities? What would you do differently? The run. I know some people were saying, oh, the finish line, the coverage of it. As far as the parade, we've heard the normal stuff. The parade took too long, sunset. I know someone brought me a valid, extremely valid concern about the parade ending at night, the safety aspect. And we're going to talk about this in subsequent episodes because there's this big tug of war right now between some in the community who support the police and their social media PR right now versus some who don't. And they're kind of twisting, the unsolved crimes with the social media PR that the Bermuda Police Service are currently doing. What I will say is members of the public noticed two people riding around on a bike as the parade ended on Friday night who looked suspicious in all black. The police were notified and the police apprehended them. That's what meeting people where they are, that's how it works. So I'm sorry if you're offended by the Bermuda Police Service and their social media PR right now. But I think it's a way for them to connect with the community. And in my opinion, that's how we're able to get results like that. We'll talk about that in subsequent episodes. But before we bring Maya, and this is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking. But before we bring Maya in, I want to just say something that's been on my mind. And I think that this is the perfect time to say it. I know people were expecting the question of the morning to reflect the Filipino Association picture on the front of the Royal Gazette on Saturday morning. And I must be very clear with you. I said it then, and I'll say it again. I said it on my social media, and I'll say it here again today. I think the Royal Gazette missed the mark. I think they missed the mark, but I also think that, in fairness, it was brilliant. They got everyone's attention. But there are people in our community who are mixing up purposely, who are purposely trying to conflate the issues of the Royal Gazette not using a traditional group like maybe Warwick United Majorettes, who were celebrating 50 years since their start, over the Filipino Association, who, have done nothing, to really hurt Bermudians outside of come to Bermuda to work or for better opportunities. But here's what I'll say, and hear me loud, hear me clear, and hear me directly right now. I think there's a group in Bermuda that plays racism a bit too well. This group uses every opportunity to take digs at Black Bermudians who have forever felt denied equitable opportunities despite the work they and many of their ancestors have put into the island. They use every other disenfranchised group like the LGBTQ+, the Filipinos, and others to take digs at Black Bermudians. They think so little of Black Bermudians and only seem to love on the ones who they don't see as a threat to their privilege and so-called supremacy. So let me be clear. I'm not here to make excuses for Black Bermudians. I'm here to say that there are many Black Bermudians who have fought and worked hard to only be denied equity for not playing the game. Just because a few Black Bermudians have decided to play it and it's worked out well for them doesn't mean that playing the game is or was ever even. Simply sometimes means a quota has been filled. I'm not here to beg any group for acceptance for Black Bermudians. But please know that your racist actions and your attempts at weaponizing other groups against Black Bermudians will not work. Please stop it. All right, let's get back to the audience real quickly. Before we bring my applause here, and again, this is your daily hour discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking. Suzanne Ingham says, try getting up from kneeling after 10 to 10 to 12 miles and start running again. It was a super awesome proposal. It says a lot about what the man will do for that special lady in his life. Congratulations to both of them. Sean Smith says, I wish people would show more consideration and not walk through participants while they are performing. That was annoying. And I wonder how the participants felt. Like, I saw people walking through majorette groups, dance troops, like walking in the street. Like, it was ridiculously disrespectful. I concur. Kenton Trot says, I totally agree with what you were saying, Jamel. Thank you, Kenton. I just want us to be aware. And I'll speak to you as well, Black people. We've got to do better. We have to do better. We must do better. We can do better. But we also cannot allow ourselves to be the punching bags of a certain group. Stand in your convictions. You know, I put on Twitter X just yesterday. I forget what I put. Let me check. You know, my memory's not what it used to be. What I put on there, I said, no, that's retweeting Canada. I said, popularity is a progress killer. And I really, really hope we can get around that. Let's show some love to Titan and Secure, and then we'll bring Maya Palacio in for your Daily Hour news break.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All right, folks, if you haven't already, whatever platform you're on, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X, Instagram, you know what to do. Give us a like, love, follow, share, subscribe. Make sure you share this link with your friends, family, colleagues. We're going to bring Maya Palacio in for your Daily Hour news break. And after that, we've got Dr. Jonathan Makanjoula coming on to speak about such an important topic, prostate cancer awareness. Stick with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. Well, welcome back. First off, I was waiting till you came. Congratulations, girl.
Oh, gosh. Thank you.
I didn't share it with you or say nothing, but the amount of people that was sending me videos and pictures and look at my look. Oh, gee. I was happy for you. Seriously. Maya finished the Bermuda Day Half Marathon. Oh, folks, come on now. Come on now. Maya did it. She said she was going to do it, and she did it.
That I did. I would say it was the toughest one I've ever done in my life. It's funny because since I've been home, like I ran like the first 6 miles, I ran the last 5 miles, but on the day, I don't know, something felt so different. But I was just like, in my head, I was like, look, I just want to finish. So I finished.
We're proud of you, honestly. I'm gonna be real with you. I think it's something that you can say you've done. I mean, and this has been your year of doing stuff. You did the end-to-end recently, and you did this. You could have easily said after the end-to-end, nah, I'm done. I ain't doing this, whatever. But you did it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm sitting here, folks, I'm not doing it. That's not my space. I'm gonna stick with my 2 miles on the treadmill right now and go from there. But I congratulate Maya because I lived through her. With that. So congratulations. And your sister did it right.
Indigo did it. She did an amazing job. At one point, I was like, go Indigo, because you have the energy right now and the pace, and I just don't have it. Like, it's not happening. I'm gonna just struggle back here by myself, but you go. And she did an amazing job. So I'm really proud of Indy because like she barely even trained that much. But afterwards, we both felt okay too. Like everything was good. Like I was like, yeah, my body feels fine, like physically fine. Mentally, I'm just like upset. But I was able to go out there to the parade. Had a friend that came down to visit it, my friend Paget. So that was really fun, and people got to know that she got her name from Bermuda, actually, Paget Parish. So that was really cool.
Oh, nice. All right. Pat, you're gonna run it with you next year?
Oh no, she's not a runner. She'll never.
Okay. Okay. No, honestly, and thank you, audience, for recognizing it, because Maya told me she was doing it. I was like, go ahead. No, I'm gonna watch you and I watch from afar, like I told you. I promise that. Yeah. I pick
Told
up to
myself,
go ahead.
I was like, this is something that I want to make a priority every single year to run May 24th. So it's something that I'm working toward. I'm someone who like I need something to do or a reason to go to the gym. And if this is the
Mhm.
reason to stay healthy, stay fit, and go to the gym is so I can run May 24th, then that's going to be it. Something that keeps me rooted in community and, keeps me going. So this is the first year of hopefully many, many more. I want to be just like the aunties who passed me so quickly doing it. So yeah.
She just aged so many people on this show. She said she wants to do it every year just so she has a really good gym, go fit. She ain't reached that age when they say, well, you better be in the gym, got your blood pressure and your cholesterol and whatever else. You feel what I'm saying, audience? She just did that to us. She just did that.
I don't know. I feel like I'm at that age now, Jamal.
You're getting up there, MP. Hey, look, she's late 20s now, folks. She's late 20s.
I tell you, even through the years of doing like extreme sports and stuff like that, the knees aren't the same knees they're supposed to be. I'll tell you that.
I must share with you. I don't know if I could share this publicly, but I'm going to, and I'll get in trouble later. So Hadleen Swan, who watches the show, comments a lot. She was a majorette. She was in PHC. I gotta get that right because she'll throw something at the screen. She was a majorette. Do you know? She said she didn't start dancing majorettes until like 39. So I'm saying that to say, MP, what you got?
I love that. I'm gonna tell Indigo to be a majorette now.
Oh, she said Indigo. She ain't gonna do it.
Oh no, I'm not the dance in the family, but Indigo would love to.
Well, no, I said, Helene, you need to share that story. That's inspiring. Like,
that's an inspiring story.
Someone started dancing majorettes at 39. I'm thinking that she had done it from young and so on. But how'd you enjoy the parade? Because you were up close and personal down there on Front Street, huh?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that it was still going on because once I finished the race, I came back, took a nap for about an hour and a half, and then I was like, "Oh, should I go to the parade? Is it still going to be on?" Because I really want to see Mackenzie as the Grand Marshal. So I was like, "I think it might be past her section." I was looking and looking, watching the live, looking at the schedule, looking at the last two frames. Like, I don't see where we're at, and I figured we're still at the first frame. I was like, "Oh, I could definitely still go." I had time to still put my makeup on, get an outfit picked up, all of that. So I was like, okay, we got time. So I did end up going. And when I did, I was happy to see that it was such a good crowd. I mean, I came around, I was on the Front Street area. Came in from Reed Street, walked around all the way to Front Street, and I was like, okay, it's a nice crowd, but it's been a long time since I've been to the parade. So you can tell me otherwise if it's normally bigger than that, because I remember from young, it felt the same.
Yeah, I haven't been to the parade since 2019, and I was still drinking then. I don't remember much, but I just growing up, it was one of my favorite things to do. It really was. So I just hope that young people have this same experience. I know it was long. I know people have concerns, but no matter how the parade went, there will always be things to improve. Maybe it was long on purpose to give people more entertainment for a longer period of time, but I'm glad that people had an opportunity to enjoy it. Real quickly, Maya's going to get ready to do the news break. But we haven't done this in a while, and we usually do it at the end of the show. We're going to do it right now because, as you can see the comments on the screen, folks, let's do a roll call. Where are you tuned in from today? Let us know while she gets into her news break, but let us know where are you tuned. And please don't say Bermuda. Say we're in Bermuda. Please don't say the USA. Say we're in the USA. All right? Let us know. Roll call. I'm going to hit you with Atlanta, Georgia. Where you at, Maya?
I am in Smiths Parish right now.
All right. That's all real cool. Where you at, audience? Where are you tuned in from? Let us know in the audience. Maya, over to you.
All right, so good morning, everyone. This is your Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by the good people at People's Pharmacy. Starting out your news this morning, some important notices that came out from the Bermuda Police Service. I want you to pay attention to the screen because it's quite vital information. So the Bermuda Police Service is requesting the public's assistance in locating 23-year-old Jeremiah Tyrrell. Now, Mr. Tyrrell is described as dark brown complexion, approximately 6 feet tall, slim build, with dreadlocks. It is believed that Mr. Tyrrell may be able to assist the police with an ongoing investigation. Now, anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of, again, 23-year-old Jeremiah Tyrrell is asked to immediately contact the main police number at 295-0011.
Yeah, goes back to what I said earlier. If, communicate with the police. They're doing a lot of work to try to communicate more directly with the public.
Now, switching gears over, we're going to talk a little bit about Bermuda Day, get you guys spirits up and some memories as well going as to what happened. Just a quick little recap for you here. But as you know, for Bermuda Day, it delivered everything I think the island could have hoped for. It was a lot of sunshine, celebrations, and a lot of showcase of culture and athleticism. So, under the perfect skies, the past weekend, thousands lined up the streets and cheers of runners and everyone alike. So Sean Trott and Gail Lindsay powered through the victory in the half marathon derby while the streets of the Hamilton lit up with music, color, movement, and thanks to almost over 60 participants actually and entries within the parade as well. So we do have a quick little video for you guys. You may have seen it on our social media page, on our story, something really slight just to get you back into the groove of what Bermuda Day sounded and looked like.
Shout out to all of the drummers and all the family members walking with them. Catch your little drummer, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on.
Man, my legs hurt. I wonder if there was anyone who ran the half marathon and then participated in the parade.
Oh, that would be something to note because I don't know how they were able to get that down and how many steps that would be. I would want to know that.
There would have to be a different level of human, I guess, fitness to understand how anyone would be able to do that. But something tells me there are some who can pull it off. I just don't know them.
All right, we're going to close off with this story here, moving into something a little bit more in depth and in detail when it comes to our athletes and health insurance. So, lack of sponsorship, relying on the government, competing at high levels, and hoping for good health. It's the reality many elite athletes in Bermuda face once they graduate from the university's health coverage plans or are taken off their parents' health insurance as well. So, when financial support is low, health insurance coverage doesn't quite make the podium. Here's your story.
Recently, the Shadow Minister of Sports, Ben Smith, who is also a national coach for swimming in Bermuda, vocalized that the government should create a program that provides health insurance support to elite athletes in exchange for service to the community, claiming that as a government, we must not allow financial inequality to dictate athletic success. Bermuda has invested in these young people through schools, clubs, and national programs. To lose that investment because of systemic gaps is not only inefficient, it is unjust. But for many athletes, the time for statements has long passed. One elite athlete shared that this is a discussion that has been going on for years. Now that the Shadow Minister wrote this piece, what action is he going to take? They said, quote, "I don't think anyone will disagree with him, but what good is this article without action? Everyone needs money. What the minister is saying isn't a big revelation. He should have called out all the associations, private companies, insurance companies, and others who can support the initiative. In a political playground, he's not getting any points telling us 2 + 2 = 4. We know it's an issue. What partners are willing to come on board and solve it?" About 2 years ago, a small survey went out to about 15 elite athletes to see whether they would utilize health insurance coverage. Their suggestions were to lower the cost for elite athletes. The big takeaway was that if something was available, people would use it. Another elite athlete who wished to remain anonymous shared that luckily they have a great relationship with their university and receive alumni discounts that cut some bills by half. However, they still have to come out of pocket. I asked how does that affect the performance, and they responded that, quote, "Honestly, it does affect me mentally. I can't train freely or willingly. I have a slight hesitation because if I feel something, I have to be genuinely cautious. And my coaches can't train me as much as they want because financially it's not going to benefit them. Some of Bermuda's elite athletes rely solely on the government of Bermuda or the Bermuda Olympic Association for funding. And this year, due to the general election, some athletes did not receive the government's elite athlete funding that was due in February before the election. And since the budget was not approved, the money hasn't been allocated, and they were told to wait until June. Some elite athletes recognize that the government has been financially supportive of their career. This waiting period is just a consequence of a general election. Most will have to reapply once the funds are allocated, and some have to pay out of pocket or cancel meets altogether.
Here's what I'll say. I remember asking this discussion about amateur sport in Bermuda. People playing for their club teams and even Bermuda national team. And someone said to me one year, like, Hartman, ease up. This is amateur. These guys, like, some of them don't even have full-time jobs where they have insurance if they get injured, right? And, I didn't even think of it then. Now, we're talking about the elite athletes. Look, I shared an article. No one in the Daily Hour group responded to it, but I hope they all read it. Someone sent it to me of the top 5 executives in the IB sector, I guess it was. And I guarantee you, most of this audience hasn't read it. Mainly white men, right? Making millions and millions of dollars. I mean, money just most of us combined won't see. Millions of dollars a year. I don't know how else to say this in the most nicest way. I don't know if there's a nice way. But there's a lot of money floating around in Bermuda. There's no reason that we need to keep going to government. Maybe the government can put some policy in place where some of those millions go into our athletes. I don't know. But the kitty from government is dry. But the policy part, that's where the government can get some things done for our athletes. But I hope people, thank you, Renee. She said, I read it, 30 million a year for one CEO. There's money in Bermuda, but we've got to go to the right places for it. I'll share something. Sir John told me that when we had lunch recently. We have to stop going to the government. I'm not here to defend them, but when we go to the government, we're taken from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be clear. We have to decide what we want because we want our roads paved, but then we need to support the athletes. And I want to see them. Last year, remember, I think you done a story on the tag days that were taking place.
Mm-hmm. The Bermuda Olympic Association still have to do tag days in order to get funds.
Ridiculous. There are millions floating around Pitts Bay Road and Crow Lane and throughout the city of Hamilton. Sorry.
Yeah, we have Olympians, past Olympians.
I said millions. Sorry. Billions.
That too.
Come on, folks.
Yeah, we have, again, like I was trying, like Olympians, past Olympians, Commonwealth Games medalists, new national records and global records, even in universities. All of our athletes are doing incredible stuff and not getting sponsorship. Nothing too locally. And it's a sad realization. When I talked to one of our elite athletes, they are saying like they don't believe that businesses actually want to sponsor individual athletes, maybe a group of them, maybe an organization, but they won't just sponsor a person.
I want to get into I want to get into the psyche of the rich. Teo said on this show recently, it's something he doesn't understand. Well, I don't think he said understand, but he has a problem with people who have so much money they can't do enough with it, right? Look, at the end of the day, I'm a true believer. People should be able to do what they want with their money as long as they're not causing harm to others. I really, truly believe that. But these are well-to-do people, Maya. These are people who are literally, they're not harming anyone. They're literally elite athletes, as you said. They're groups, they're individuals. Like you just said, oh, well, some of them don't sponsor individuals. What's stopping you from changing that? Just because you haven't done it doesn't mean you can or shouldn't. You all trying. See, I was going to give you all a joke of the day, and now you're taking me on a rant. Larry Marshall, who's in that space, says they want to give money to national sport and governing bodies, not individuals.
It's a risk.
It's a risk giving money to someone individually. You don't know what that person's gonna do or say or whatever, and then you associate it with that person for life. So yes, I will say that it's a risk, but at the same time, there's so many that need it and are so good people, and I just wish we had a better ground and understanding.
But Maya, there was the case where we just mentioned, if they're giving money to the national bodies, why folks are doing a tag day outside the joint, right? And let's do that. And then this is how sponsorships work. Like we have to think bigger. I mean, we had the Jared Subway guy. He pretty much did kill Subway because he went out for some charges. I think it was molestation or child pornography, something. Remember Jared from Subway? That was a risk. It didn't work out. But then there are other athletes who are tied to brands, whether it's Pepsi or Sprite or whatever. Like, this is how it works. It is a risk. But no one talks about the risk they're saying million and billionaires make when they go in the stock market every day. Come on now. We got to do it. The founder of whom comes out of pocket to sponsor this charity? Yeah, okay. We're not talking about charity. And let me be very clear. This is the other thing that pisses me the hell off. I'm sorry. Sponsorship isn't charity. We can get in depth about that. Sponsorship is not charity. One more time. Sponsorship isn't charity. There's a difference. These athletes don't need charity. They need sponsorship. Sponsorship is a way of making a living. Charity is a way of helping the community. We need sponsorship for these athletes, not charity. Hope that makes sense. All right. How's the weather looking?
Looking rather cloudy, as you can see. I'm not outside right now, and it's going to be some showers easing in the afternoon as well. Should be a little bit of light winds as well happening to us, and some gusts of showers later on in the evening. So we have a high of 75 today, so expect high humidity and a lot of rainfall.
All right, roll call, everybody. Where you tuned in from? We've got Hamilton, said Mark Arthur C. Phillips. Portugal. We've got Portugal in the house. Greetings from Trinidad, says Nicole Walker. We've got Puerto Rico. Did I say that right? Did I roll my tongue right? Puerto Rico. From Rosalind Famous. We've got Hamilton Parish, says Antonio Foster. Bird, Roxanne Kitts. You know what? I love when our audience takes us on the road with them. Karen Simmons says, tuned in from Linwood Drive, Hamilton Parish. Direct Spice Hill, Warwick, says Seymour Barclay. We've got Paget at work, says Suzanne Ingham. Reed Street, we know where that is, doing Furbert. We're in Antigua and Guatemala. We're in both, huh? You're in two places in one, Mark Simons. Big up to yourself. Somerset, you did not have to put the Somerset Cup match colors. Carvey, Matthew. Zurich, Switzerland. We are on the Resode. Warwick, Bermuda, says Polly Rich. Sherilyn Johnson says Bowie, Maryland. Yeah, we've got Atlanta, Georgia. Charles is just down the street from me. What's up? Where are you at? We've got Richard Scott's in Texas. We've got Miami, says Carlita Davis. T. Cat Wilson says Fernandina Beach, Florida. Where is that?
I don't know.
Fernandina. You know what I love about that? You all are not even in Bermuda and you're rocking with us. We love that. We appreciate you folks. Days of the year. It is nothing to fair day. Nothing to fair day. So my question to all of you, while I give you a joke before Maya heads out, is what is your biggest fear? You ready for a joke? Is it, do not say Jamal's joke. Do not say one of my jokes as one of your biggest fears. All right. You ready for a joke?
All right, let's hear it.
Don't sound too excited. I think I may have done this one before. Here we go. What did the baby corn say to the mama corn? You ready?
Sure.
Where's popcorn? Stop it. Woo!
I don't know if that was funny as much as sad.
Okay. Well, MP, it's good to have you back. I'll see you Thursday. You have a great
Thursday.
Okay. Tough crowd, audience. My Palacio, folks, do not go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Dr. Jonathan Makanjoula after this. We're getting to a very important conversation. We're talking about prostate cancer awareness. I think the former U.S. president was just diagnosed with prostate cancer as well. A lot of questions around that. But do not go anywhere. Stick with us. In the meantime, whatever platform you're on, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter X, make sure you give us a love, just show us some love. We'll be back after this.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Attention home renovators and design lovers, your dream space starts here. The brand new Kohler retail showroom at BAC Group is now open, bringing you up to 35% savings on all Kohler products at U.S. manufacturer suggested retail prices. That means no extra fees, no freight, no wharfage, no duty, no document processing fees, just pure cutting-edge Kohler design at unbeatable value. From sleek kitchen and bathroom faucets, vanities, toilets, to statement sinks, walking tubs, and spa-worthy bathtubs, BAC brings innovation and luxury within reach. Visit the BAC showroom on Mill Creek Road today for style, quality, no surprises. Just color from BAC.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Jamel Hartman here. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, do us a favor. This is a very important conversation coming up. Some of us have been impacted by what we're about to discuss, but I am very happy and proud to welcome our guest today, Dr. Jonathan Makanjoula from the Daily Mail. Let's give him a warm TDH welcome. Greetings, sir. How are you?
It's
Oh, something wrong with your audio. We've got
hear me? Can you hear me now?
Are you able to go out and then come back in? Leave the studio, then come back in?
Okay.
Sorry about that, audience. It happens. We do the pre-show check. It did not happen then, so apologies. Technology does that sometimes, and we'll have Dr. Makanjoula right back in here, and we'll get right back to the show. But this is funny. Mark Simon says, my wife just said, babe, someone is tuned in from Guatemala. He says, yes, dear, that's us. I love it. I love it. Suzanne Ingham says, I love your jokes, Jamal. Hilarious. Popcorn. Good one. Yeah, I'm glad you laughed. I'm glad you laughed. Let's see if we've got Dr. Makanjoula back now.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
Oh, much better. Perfect.
I'm here.
Yes, yes. Well, first off, thank you so much for making time. Apologies about the delay. I've got to ask you, what was it before we get into the show? What was it like being a part of the parade? Because some people may not even know you guys were a part of it.
Yeah, so the charity we set up, Daily Mail, we've bought in Bermuda's first mobile clinic, which we'll talk about shortly, but we were invited to the parade. Man, it was an incredible experience. I'm normally used to sitting with my wife's family on Front Street. I was able to go through the whole parade and see the different flavors and the vibes. And I have to say, shout out to Cedar Avenue. Cedar Avenue, when we turned into Cedar Avenue, the whole vibe changed. And I'll be definitely on Cedar Avenue next year.
Cedar Avenue is, no disrespect to the rest of parade route, but Cedar Avenue is the parade route. Like that is the craziest place, man. But thank you so much for making time for us. It's been quite a while and definitely happy to have you back. Let's start off with the Daily Mail was established in 2023.
Yes.
Speak to the progress that's been made in prostate cancer awareness and early detection in Bermudian men.
Yeah. So firstly, thanks for having me on the show. So we talked when I first came. I just moved to Bermuda, and we just talked about this charity that we were looking to set up called the Daily Mail. So we started in 2023 with a pop-up screening clinic where we'd go to Warwick Workman's, Bailey's Bay, Somerset Cricket Club, St George's Cricket Club, Pembroke Hamilton Club, and offer PSA screening. So we basically did a finger prick test. There's no finger in the butt. I know, guys, there's a big barrier for men to get screened. We did a PSA blood test, result in 10 minutes. And we basically were able to positively impact men's lives. We did education programs and really just tried to educate men, especially black men, about the risk of prostate cancer. As black men, our risk is 4 times as high as other groups. So it's really important to screen. And we've just tried to improve awareness and understanding of this disease, which is killing Bermudan men disproportionately. So we screened about 300 men, and we've picked up about 10 cases of advanced cancer in men with no insurance. And that's really important because those are the guys who are presented with cancer that spread to emergency room.
So you just mentioned, I want to go a bit deeper about it being prevalent in black men in particular in Bermuda. Just elaborate a bit about the specific risk factors and why early screening is vital, because you just mentioned a lot of men for years would not go because they didn't want a finger in the butt. It sounds silly, but that's the reality. Speak to that.
Yeah. So we know just generally black men have a higher risk of prostate cancer. Why? We're not 100% sure. We got vaccine for COVID. We know how to do with COVID. We still can't understand why black men are being disproportionately affected. We know the genetic link, and I think Bermuda definitely has the genetic link that is we'll probably find answers there. I know my colleague Dr. Weldon's doing some genetic studies on prostate cancer in black men, and we'll find some interesting results when that reports shortly. But in terms of the risk, we know we have a higher risk, but also we're not going to see our doctors. So we're not getting the screening every year. We're not getting ourselves checked. I always say, men will go to their car, to the garage and get their car services every year. We get a tune-up, we get oil check, but we won't go and get our bodies checked. We won't get physical. So a lot of men are walking around with high blood tests and PSA blood tests and have no idea. And in the early stages, you have no symptoms. You have no pain, no problems peeing. I saw a normal PSA is about 0 to 4. I saw a Bermuda man in my office with a PSA of 8,000. It spread everywhere. And he had absolutely no symptoms. When I was telling him he had cancer, he's looking at me like I was foolish because I was saying you've got cancer that spread. So we really need to make awareness. Daddies need to, it's about the communication as well. Men don't talk about it. So if your dad had prostate cancer or your brothers have prostate cancer, your risk is high. If you're black, your risk is a multiplier. So you can see how the risk just, we're walking time bombs if we don't talk to our sons and fathers and brothers about the prostate cancer, especially if you've had it, and communicate with those in the family. So it's really a big problem. And Bermuda, I think, suffers from that especially.
Indeed. You just mentioned also you serviced 300 men in 2024, identifying several severe or advanced cases. What challenges do underinsured or uninsured men face in accessing timely diagnosis and treatment?
Yeah, so for the uninsured men, it's simply about access. So these men, during the Daily Mail screenings, we'd met men who've never seen a doctor for 30, 40 years. We saw a lot of cardiovascular issues, so significantly high blood pressure in this population. And these are the men that go on to get strokes. They go on to get advanced cancer. They present to emergency room, you know. So we've seen a lot of this. So we said to the government, we did meet with Kim Wilson, and we said if we screen these men early, it's a lot cheaper and better for their lives, but cheaper for the Bermudian health system if we can pick it up and deal with it early. So that's what we aim to do. So for cardiovascular disease, we connected with the government Hearts program, which offers free blood pressure tablets. So we identify the men and refer them onto the Hearts program. And for the high PSA patients, they got booked into the Indigent program, which is available through the hospital. And we were able to offer free diagnostics, MRI scans, biopsies. And then through Bermuda Cancer and Health Equal Access Fund, they got curative radiation treatment. So we're just trying to connect the dots with existing services in Bermuda.
Indeed. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Dr. Makanjoula, please send them through. I just want to know, audience, has anyone in the audience been to one of the events put on by Daily Mail? Just want to see if anyone's been to any of the screenings that they've been doing. Let us know, yes or no. Beyond screenings, though, Daily Mail offers health education and social support. How do these additional services contribute to improving men's health outcomes?
Yeah, so it's all about understanding, really. Number one is understanding, knowing what the prostate is, knowing about blood pressure and the importance of getting these things checked. The second thing is advocacy. So for far too long, Bermudian men, especially black men, have been underrepresented. Their voices haven't been heard when it comes to the healthcare space. And traditionally, it always thought men are stubborn and they don't want to see a doctor. But sometimes about access, sometimes about a safe space. We've created that environment to make sure that men's health needs are given. I'll give you one quick example. So men that do have prostate cancer, often they have surgery for the prostate and it damages nerves for erection function. And those men that medication doesn't work, they need advanced treatments such as penile implants. For the last 5 years, the insurance companies have categorically and systematically rejected the referrals for these treatments, saying, oh, well, we don't, you know, it's sex. Why does men want to do this? But we successfully argued and petitioned with the insurance companies to say if a woman has breast cancer and they remove her breast, they rightfully do reconstruction. No one's going to deny that. It's part of the healing and the cancer treatment. So why is this any different? There's no difference at all. So eventually they've agreed. And actually, I'm proud to say with the work we've done, the insurance companies have agreed for 2 Bermudan men to have these penile implant surgeries to be done in Bermuda. And we're hoping to get this done in the next 6 months. So it's all about advocacy as well as education.
It's appreciated for sure. Definitely. Thank you for that. You've been instrumental in developing Bermuda's integrated prostate cancer care pathway. How does this initiative enhance patient care from diagnosis through treatment?
Yeah, so one thing we noticed, there's a variation in the care that men get when they see their GPs. What I mean by that is some men will see a GP where the PSA is a little bit elevated and they go, let's leave it for another year, we'll check it later. And some men are getting referred in a timely fashion. And I think part of the problem is Bermuda, we didn't have our own set of national guidelines. We borrowed stuff from USA, Canada, UK. And obviously every doctor's trained in different jurisdictions. So we wanted to level the playing field and make sure that every man in Bermuda, wherever which practice he went to, was treated the same and had the same access. So that led us to work we did here, where I'm proud to show we're the first country in the Caribbean and actually in the Northern Hemisphere to create PSA screening guidelines. These are guidelines that doctors adhere to that specify when men should get referred and how. And we actually democratized this. Actually, really, I did something unique where I made the guidelines available to not just doctors, but to patients. So patients understand what's required of their doctors when they have an elevated PSA and can advocate for themselves and loved ones. And that was one of the keys we wanted to do.
Love it. Thank you for that. And that's information that should be helpful to all of the audience. Audience, again, yes or no, have you been to one of the screenings? Let us know. For men hesitant about prostate screenings, what common misconceptions still exist and how do you address them in your position to encourage participation?
Yeah. So with screening, the biggest barrier to black men, but all men, I'd say, is the digital rectal examination, my finger. And traditionally, yes, part of the protocol was to put a finger in the back passage to feel the prostate to see if there's any lumps and bumps. Yes, there's still a role for that, but in the terms of screening, we're saying its utilization is less. And we know it's a barrier for men to get tested. So what we're saying is have your PSA blood test. If it's elevated based on your age, then you should see a specialist and then get some advanced testing like an MRI scan and do other things. So we're not using a digital rectal examination as a primary screening tool. It's useful in circumstances, but not as a primary screening tool because it is a barrier to men getting checked. And that's one of the key messages we want to convey.
Thank you for that. let's get back. You were in the parade. You recently got your mobile screening van. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Just explain to the audience how important having this van, like how will this help you with your mission
Yeah.
in Bermuda?
So one of the problems that we had was that we have got over 80 volunteers, doctors, nurses, people helping us with the clinics, but it's very labor intensive. We have to go the night before, set up, turn a bar into a medical facility basically, and then break it down. Labor intensive, and it means we are limited the number of screens we can do. So our mission was to get a mobile clinic, a screening bus that we can drive around with shorter notice, set up, have men get onto the bus, do their PSA test, see the doctor, and then hop up again. So it just means that there's no barrier to access. We can drive from one end of the island to the other, offering free screening. Some men said they couldn't get to our screening because they're working in construction on a Saturday. No problem. We can drive to your construction site, do the screenings here, and leave. So the van is going to make it really mobile and make access to healthcare just so much easier. And we're saying, look, it's not just about Daily Mail. This van is for Bermuda. So if you're a charity or you want to do health promotion, diabetes, mental health, women's health, you can use that van as a medical mobile facility.
All righty. Let's go to the audience real quickly. We've got Sean Smith asking, is radiation still the only way to cure cancer?
No. So there are many ways of curing cancer if it's picked up early. Let me be clear, if we pick this up early. But radiation is one way of doing it. It depends on the type of cancer. Surgery is a very good option. And there are newer surgical robotic surgery and newer devices to make surgery more effective. There's new drugs called immunotherapy, which are game changing in more advanced disease in chemotherapy. So it's not just about, there's many ways of doing things, depending on the type of cancer. And it's about speaking to your doctor and finding out what's available for you. But early detection is so important. When we detect cancer early, your options are a lot more than when it's advanced cancer and your options become more limited.
We've got another question from the audience. Anika DeShiel's asking, is there a schedule for the clinics?
Yeah, so the van is still very new. We've just paraded it at the May parade last week. So we are working on a schedule now. So we'll release on social media, we'll be on radio media and print media, where we're going to have the van pop up. It's going to go to our traditional places, but we're going to go to not so traditional places as well, where men frequent. So watch this space. We'll be releasing stuff on our website and the media shortly, and through your media outlet, of where the screening bus is going to be for the next 12 months.
All right. We've got an interesting question. Suzanne Ingham says, is it possible for women to have the symptoms of prostate? Women know they don't have a prostate, but can they have symptoms?
So yeah, so what that's relating to is called lower urinary tract symptoms. In men, it's often due to prostate, but in women, it can be due to other gynecological issues. So prolapse, womb issues, bladder infections, kidney stones. So yes, women do not have let me be technically correct. People that are not born as women do not have a prostate, but they can have lower urinary tract symptoms caused by other things from a gynecological cause or the womb. So yes.
And if a man has had a UTI, for instance, a urinary tract infection, does his chances of prostate cancer increase?
Yes and no. So if a man has recurrent urinary tract infections, that is never normal. So that does need assessment by a doctor, because chronic infection can lead to inflammation. And we know it's inflammation over time that can cause cancer. So indirectly, yes, chronic infections that are not addressed can cause cancer transformation over time.
But just a one-off UTI? Because I remember Pelé, the great footballer, was always in the hospital for UTIs, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think he eventually got it. So I was just wondering if that was...
Yeah. But a UTI in a man is never normal, and that does need addressing.
Okay. All right. We've got Michael Daniels asking, does enlarged prostate lead to cancer?
Yeah, great question. So there's a misconception that everyone with enlarged prostate has cancer. That's incorrect. There's as we get older, the prostate grows. It's a tissue, it's a gland at the base of the bladder, and it swells up as we get older under the effect of a hormone called testosterone. So many men have an enlarged prostate, and as we get older, some 80% in their men in the 80s have an enlarged prostate. Not every man with enlarged prostate gets prostate cancer. So that's why it's important. If you have symptoms of enlarged prostate, weak flow, waking up 3-4 times a night, blood in the urine, not emptying your bladder, these are signs of enlarged prostate. It doesn't always mean prostate cancer, but it's important to see your health provider, get checked, get screened for a PSA blood test, and see what's going on, basically. But the two aren't always linked.
You mentioned just now it's not normal for a man to get a UTI, but let's say he does get a UTI. What could be the cause of that should concern a man? If it's
as a urologist, I'd check the prostate. If they're older men, have they got an enlarged prostate? Are they not emptying their bladder? And they mean they're holding on to urine and that gets infected. In younger patients, could be something else like a kidney stone. So there's many other reasons, but it does need prompt urological evaluation to make sure there's nothing else untoward.
All righty. Always a pleasure. Dr. Makanjoula, just let us know, how can those interested in learning more, supporting, or, maybe having you come by, speak to an office or a school, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So the easiest way to get in touch with me is via our website. So that's dailymailclinic.com, www.dailymail. So it's written under there, all one word, clinic.com. Or you can email us at info@dailymailclinic.com. So that's the easiest way to get hold of me. And I'm happy to do speaking arrangements, come and speak to men's clubs. I've done probably over 20 talks in Bermuda in the last few years, golf associations, really just trying to get the word out. So that can be contacted. If you're interested in maybe having the screening van come to a location near you, again, email us. We can have a talk about the logistics. It's quite a big van, so access has to be quite good. We cut some roads down St. George's the van cannot get to. But if we discuss it and we plan it, then yes, we could potentially do some screening at your facility as well.
Real quickly, because it's been a big topic of conversation, I'm surprised no one in the audience asked this, but the former president of the US, Joe Biden, has been diagnosed recently, and what people are saying is advanced stage of prostate cancer. There are people who say, well, he's got access to the best cure in the world. How did it get here? Can you, I don't know if you're in a position to understand what may have happened there, but if you can break that down, because you're not going to come from a political perspective. Medical doctor.
Yeah. So firstly, let me be clear by saying 80% of men in their 80s have prostate cancer. Okay, let me say that again. 80% of men in their 80s have prostate cancer. Is it going to kill them? Most of them unlikely. But it's important if men have symptoms, blood in the urine. In terms of screening, actually in the US, they don't advocate screening. And even the president has to follow the rules. So after the age of 75, they stop advocating PSA blood testing, only because we know it's so common in men in the 80s. Again, this is pure speculation. He's got advanced cancer, which has spread to the bones. But to have that diagnosis in the last few months, for me personally, it's a difficult one. And maybe, this is again pure speculation, it was known about a lot longer than when it was released. But I'll leave it at that.
Understood. Dr. Makanjoula, thank you so much as always. We'll definitely make sure it's not a long time in between your next visit to us. Always appreciate the information you share. Again, thank you, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, and I'd love to invite you to the screening program, maybe give you an exclusive to come and see the bus, do a tour, and see firsthand what the bus does or what it can do.
Definitely. Thank you for that. All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Dr. Jonathan Makanjoula, folks, please, if you haven't already, whatever platform you're on, give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're going to take our final break. Come back. I want to see if you all get this daily play. It's easy. It's easy. You better get it.
Hey, you all right, boy? I don't know, man. I finished running 20 minutes ago, and I feel like I'm still panting.
Look like you need to recover. Try this here. New drink. Oh, you're like you want to go to the hospital in 2 seconds ago. This will make you fast like Flora.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, we again.
I'm recovered, boy.
Being from this little island, like yourself, we knew you needed access to reliable shipping. We set up mailboxes so you can skip all the long waits or held up in customs excuses.
With mailboxes, that won't happen. Get your packages in under 48 hours using our dashboard.
Plus, if you're a planner or headerer, our weekly consolidation service might be for you. We hold your packages in Delaware and ship them together to save you big time on shipping fees.
And with our warehouse being in Delaware, that means 0% sales tax. Pretty cool, right, guys?
Looking for the best care for your pets? Noah's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Did you know 3 out of 4 people say that they have a good understanding of life insurance? But do they really? When asked how much the yearly cost would be for a 20-year, $250,000 level term life insurance policy for a healthy 30-year-old, 80% overestimated the cost by 5 times the amount. Ready for this? The true cost for that policy is about $220 a year. That's as little as 66 cents a day, or $20 a month. So let's put this into perspective. Compared to other monthly costs, isn't getting life insurance a no-brainer? If you can trim back on some of these expenses just a little bit, it will allow you to dedicate the savings toward an affordable life insurance policy. Contact one of our life insurance agents today to find the right policy for you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I was looking for a quote of the day. Welcome back. Thanks again to Dr. Jonathan Makanjoula for joining us this morning. Appreciate the conversation again, folks. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can do this with you on a daily basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. Now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, audience, are you ready? Here we go. It's a remember when. Bermuda Air's first official flight took place on what date? No one got it. That means everyone's Googling. Everyone is Googling right now. No one got the answer. So I will share it with you. Date, not month, not year, date. But it wasn't April and it wasn't 2024. The actual date was, I thought this was easy. I'm sorry. Bermuda Air's first official flight took place on September 1st, 2023. September 1st, 2023. All right, we got you all this morning. All right, Corlita Davis and Polly Ritz said May 2023. No, the first official flight took place on September 1st, 2023. Yep, yeah. Quick question, yes or no? Who in the audience has flown on Bermuda Air before? Yes or no? Have you flown on Bermuda Air before? Anika was going to cheat. She said she just found it. She was going to go to the two. She Googled it, folks. She Googled it. Have you flown on it? Have you flown on it? Have you flown on it? Yes or no? We've got Nicole Walker says yes. Michelle Dorr says yes. Sean Smith says no. We got to get a Portugal route. Sean, we got to get a Portugal route. Yes or no? Have you flown Bermuda Air yet? Let us know. We've got Rosalind Famous says yes. We've got Polly Ritz, yes. Emily Gill Dill says yes. Often, yes. Manuela John, no, not yet. Suzanne Ingham, yes. Karen Simmons, yes. Nana Pam Wade, okay. All right, quite a few people have flown on it. We've got a lot of yeses out there. All right, folks. Well, look, we've got to run. We've got to wrap it up. But let me give you a daily inspiration so we can let you on your way. And here is your daily inspiration for the day. It's coming from James Baldwin. And hear this. Hear it loud, hear it clear, hear it directly. The most dangerous creation of any society is the man who has nothing to lose. On that note, it's time for us to say, please don't forget to subscribe on our website, Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are is out. Peace.